a track that was created after the wrath of Hurricane Andrew in 1992. This is the Homestead-Miami Speedway, a track that people love and drivers love to drive. It is a track that sits in South Florida and one that some could argue deserves to have the NASCAR finale back at it. But tonight, it's the third to last race of the Sim500 North Carolina 811.org call before you dig Cup Series as we get ready to rock and roll. 3 races to go. And tonight, it's right there. The Virtual Homestead-Miami Speedway. And the irony about the hurricane we talk about, we might be looking at the first November hurricane since 2016 sitting off the coast of Florida. Thankfully, it doesn't have realistic weather here. Could be interesting. But we get to have some fun tonight here at Homestead. In all seriousness, we welcome you in to the third of 5 rounds, the round of 10 tonight for the Sim500 North Carolina 811.org Cup Series. It is from Miami, and we welcome you in. I am the captain, Chris Scala. Of course, joining me tonight is Kevin England, and Kevin, good to have you here with me. As some people know who have been watching here the last couple of days on the air. I have not been 100%, but I'm getting better and better throughout, so good to see you here with me tonight. And we're ready to rock and roll. Homestead-Miami Speedway, a track that has progressive banking, 18, 19, and 20. And I'm telling you right now, I feel like this is deja vu all over again because we mentioned this word in Las Vegas, and I feel like we're about to mention this word once again. Loose is the word. It's the drinking word tonight here at Homestead.
Hey everybody, glad to be here. Glad to be in support of you there, Chris. Glad to hear you feeling a little bit better. Boy, I'll tell you, I've driven this racetrack a couple times over the last couple of weeks, and we're watching practice. And L-O-O-S-E, these guys are capital L, loose in this racetrack. And really, there's no strategy that helps solve that problem for you. You just could coast through the corner, and next thing you know, halfway through, it steps out. As I'm watching Tommy Ryan over here from the binoculars lose it off of turn number 2. And, well, the interesting aspect of this is it's a point championship night for a lot of these guys.
Yes.
Anybody that's from behind, this is the place they need to dig because of the wild card for Martinsville, and you certainly don't want to have to climb your hill in Phoenix in the final race. So I look at this as, if you are looking to capitalize on points to set yourself up for the championship, tonight's the night.
I think this becomes a wild card race as we go in because of the way the setup is handling for this track. But Martinsville coming next week. This is the night to pounce, and we'll show you the point standings here in just a second. But first, let's show you on the map where the Homestead-Miami Speedway is. It is pretty much right off of the Florida Turnpike. Of course, I-95 ends in downtown Miami. And then you obviously go right down the turnpike near US 1, almost basically at the start of the Keys. And there's Homestead-Miami Speedway right there for you. A beautiful track, one that I've had a chance to go enjoy a few championship races at. And in my lifetime down there in the Florida area, of course, the Homestead Air Force Base is right next door. It's actually where I flew my plane into last night. And ready to rock and roll here this evening. So, let's talk about the points as qualifying gets going here, and we'll try to get to that here in a second. But look at this. We have 6 drivers less than 12 points from being the points leader after last week's race. And we got 3 races, Homestead, Martinsville, Phoenix. And we got this. We have ourselves officially a points battle. Daniel Falkingham had issues. Brian Macklin took advantage, went to victory lane, and look at what it's caused. Brian jumped up 6 spots. Tommy Ryan's right there in second. Bentley Glazier, Comstock, Kelly, Falkingham, and you know what? I'm not counting the other guys out. Coleman's got a shot. Scott Simley's got a shot. Henderson and Parker needs a little help, but he does have a shot himself. And your thoughts there? Anything that kind of catches your eye there?
This is the first time in the season that I know of, except for maybe the first race, that Daniel Falkingham is not in the point lead. And 11 points out. The bad news for him is he needs to wish a little ill will to those top 3 guys. If someone like Macklin rips off 3 good races, maybe Daniel can't get it back. So we'll just have to see what the complexion of the race is. Now, the good news for him, Adam Gilliland not here tonight, but in the past he won this race in second.
Hmm.
Daniel Falkingham, I think he's going to be good tonight, so he has a chance to gain a little ground as we watch one of the contenders, Scott Simley, turn in the speedway. Just going to look and see whether Daniel, who's been dominant all season, this is why it's worth talking about, is going to get a recovery here tonight. And could somebody like Scott Simley sneak around? We saw Scott Stenzel, one of the drivers that is not in the mix, run the fastest time in practice. Uh, this is the type of racetrack you just don't know what you're going to get till you get there.
No, you don't. And it just comes down to the setup here as we watch Falkingham now. He's going to come out of turn 4. You see Mike Kelly up to the pole right now at a 33.44. Again, down at the bottom of the screen, if you see the times go green, that means they're faster. On their lap, Chad Coleman looks like he's going to go to the pole here, right there, 33.35. You saw the purple, kind of road coursey, if you will, calling it purple. Of course, you watch F1 racing or something, when you see the purple lap, that means the fastest. So that's a good way to tell. Down the back straightaway here, looking for the 39. There's a lot of cars in front of him, according to the track. That's why you're not seeing him on track yet here. Waiting for the 39 to come across the bottom here. Let's see where he goes and completes this lap. He might be... there he goes. There's the purple. There's the green. I think he's going to be second. He sure is. 33.36. Yeah, 35, a 36, a 43, a 44, 45, 46, 48, 49, 51. Your top 9.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
And, with track position being a premium at this racetrack, track position, tire wear, it's going to be fun to see these guys claw their way through.
Seeing a lot of one-lappers, and that's it. And how about this? Your points leader on track now, the Trans Service Camry, Brian Macklin. Let's ride aboard. Let's drift out to the wall. Curious to see what lane he goes into. You see Tommy Ryan purple right now. Kind of a shallow entry as he goes down into turn 1 and 2, right on the white line. Gonna let it drift up the track. Kind of a straighter exit there. As Tommy Ryan goes third with a 37. Leah with a 40.
Yeah, Macklin going to run lap number 2.
Oh, wow. I would too if I got that loose.
Yeah.
Oh, he actually let up. So Macklin actually going to be one of the worst qualifying out of those who are in the playoffs. He still ended up 8th with a 33.72. But a lot of guys in the playoffs up there at the top. It looks like everybody's pretty much done who's going to qualify here. So let's see who's around here. And see, Tommy looks like is all done with his qualifying run, and we'll get into our warm-up here for a quick second. Let's grab a driver. We're going to grab one of our 811 drivers. So let's grab somebody I have not talked to, Mike Kelly. Mike Kelly's got him as an associate. It's going to be kind of surprised a little bit here. But Mike likes surprises. We're going to bring him up here. Hey, Mr. Kelly, how are you, sir?
Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Hey, I'm good, my man. Hey, just a question for you, and I'm not going to put you on the spot too much here, but basically setting you up here, you are a big supporter of 811. You got them on your car. And, we've talked to a lot of drivers that are supported by 811 and that kind of thing. Talk about the importance of calling before you dig and that kind of thing, and even some maybe experiences you've had.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I did some landscaping this summer, as a matter of fact, and had to call them out twice this year. So
Hey,
it's always important. I mean, I know where all my wires are by now. They've been out so many times. But, yeah, if you're doing anything around the house, any kind of thing at all, if you're putting a shovel in the ground, you need to give them a call. It's 811, pretty much any state. I'm in Nebraska. It's 811 in Nebraska. So it's good to have them on the car supporting the series, and Brian Morehouse and Stoney Benefield and all the guys at 811. Good to have them aboard.
Absolutely. And I actually saw a sign today up in Tacoma, Georgia, where I was delivering, that they had a sign Georgia 811. So that was kind of cool to see. So they're everywhere in all 50 states. So, Mike, we appreciate your time. And how you feeling about the car? I know loose is the word.
Well, we're going to be digging. Sorry for that pun, but it's a lot like Texas. It falls off the cliff after about 7 laps. We're going to be searching for grip anywhere we can, doing some wall riding. Should be wild.
I will keep Nebraska and digging out of the same sentence because when I think of football, right? Never mind. We're gonna leave
Oh
that alone.
God,
Sorry. See, that's bad,
it's all
Kevin.
right.
He knew exactly where I was going when I said the word football.
Yeah, it's all we got.
And it's unfortunate. At least Creighton basketball is getting going soon.
That's
Anyways.
true, and Nebraska women's volleyball.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they do got a good women's volleyball team out there. Great job on the qualifying effort, Mike, and hopefully we'll see you in the top 3 tonight.
Thanks. Hope I can keep it up front. Have a good one.
Hey, you too, buddy. As Mike Kelly will qualify, I believe he's in the team name channel. I hope I put him in the right channel. I can't remember. Oh, no, he's down there. Oh, I didn't. Put him down at Turn 1 Heroes. All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup real quick as they form up. It will be the Chad Coleman car on the pole. He will start alongside the 39 of Daniel Falkingham. Tommy Ryan, Donnie Leah. They'll take row number 2. Bentley Glazier, Mike Kelly, row 3. David Comstock, Brian Macklin, row 4. Jose Gonzalez and Nelson Rivera with the top 10.
Yeah, Robert Fiery III starts 11th. Outside of him is Doy Wood. Scott Stenzel, fast in practice. He starts 13th. 14th for Elliot Henderson tonight. Glenn Campbell in the number 44 starts 15th. Outside him in the 16th starting spot is Justin Mines in the 49. Joey Jatina starts 17th. And then outside in the 18th starting spot, Ron Hollifield. Scott Simley, one of the contestants there for the championship, starts in the 19th position, and outside of him is another contender, Jimmy Coleman, in the number 54.
Jose Medina, Doug Roth, Byron Daly, Mike Montesi, Josh Parker, Randy Yoakum, John Fowler, Doug Sigmund, and Gerald Livingston. Going to be the 29 starters that take the green flag. 3 races to go to decide the championship, and we go green from South Florida. And right off the bat, good start for Coleman. By the way, last night's winner in the Truck Series at Talladega, so the momentum carries for the Georgia Bulldog. They had a big football game this weekend, apparently. Our cameras tonight presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online. They're on Facebook. They're on the iRacing forums. You can check out their cameras everywhere in iRacing. And, of course, at TrackCams22.com. Lap 1 going to be very important here. Coleman's going to keep the 39 from leading it.
Yeah, right now these guys are just settling in. They're still running side by side in some cases. I would have thought they would have cleared that, but positions are positions. You see Mike Kelly getting a jump there, is still side by side out of turn number 2 to the backstretch for the lead. Oh, man, I'll tell you, even in this early going, when the traction is great, the car is still a handful. These guys need to be very careful in these opening laps and let things settle.
You know what I've kind of noticed here, as we went green, the sun came out. And we've already got track temps well over 130 degrees. And one of the things they do in this series is Falkingham finally clears Coleman for the lead. You know he's going to be racing his tail off tonight, probably racing angry, if you will. One of the things this series likes to do is start their races at noon. And the reason being is it gets so hot, it makes this car a handful to drive. And they want to drive this car. So they do that with the settings for the race. So we're sitting here on the default date, May 15th. Okay? May 15th in South Florida, being somebody who grew up about 3 hours north of here. It's like 90 bleeping degrees at this point in the day. So, I mean, you can't even put if you're wearing bare feet on asphalt, forget it. Type of hotness, and the humidity's high because you're sitting on the water. So the track is just going to get greasy hot, and that's what's going to make the fun here for these cars.
Yeah, all these drivers talked about drop off from the tire wear, and typically you can run about 10 laps, and then the track gets really greasy. The car doesn't want to drive up out of the corner, and you really have to be gentle on the throttle. One of the curiosities we have is whether or not they will be in the banking. You know, they have the option to run the middle here with the progressive banking up high, but I suspect we're going to have bottom feeders all night long.
I think you will for a little bit, and I think as the tires wear, you might see them go to where they're comfortable, which I think the high side might be the way to go, only because of the comfort. Remember, on the high side, you don't have to turn the wheel as much. So that kind of keeps the looseness maybe out of the car. Just my thought there. But yeah, 18 degrees of banking, on the bottom, 19 in the middle, 20 at the top. We're already seeing 3 wide racing here towards mid-pack as Parker and Jatina with Roth there, 3 wide. Roth running the boards already. But that's what this track allows. This is part of the reason why I sit here almost every race. I will wear this into the ground, as I heard somebody say this again today, and I'm like, if you're going to put a track and redo it, or if you're going to build a track, and it's bigger than Richmond, and even Richmond I would be okay with doing this, put progressive banking on it.
Got one rim rider out there is Byron Daly. He's currently running in the 17th position, running right up against the wall. He's not in the Kyle Larson run, but in the sim, he's pretty darn close.
No, well, here's the thing, and we have to, something I might have to debate one day with some people, is there a different line for, say, the Tyler Reddick line? And listen, you see Daly downshifting. We heard this talked about a little bit, but he's actually downshifting to slow the car down.
Yeah, you also get a little more throttle control as to when you want to pick up some speed in that sense. So you do see a couple drivers run in the middle there. And, you know, that's just the curiosity. We wondered when the race broke. When they go out and run practice, they run high, they run low, they run the middle. But we really can't tell where they're going to run when the event comes. Most of them are down on the bottom, but a couple of them, say Justin Mons in the 49 running 15th, trying the middle right now. He's to the outside, making it 3 wide around Elliott Henderson.
Daly just got the wall.
Woods down underneath.
Yeah, Daly just caught the wall. He lost the nose there when Mons went topside. That's another thing about this. You got to get your air on this nose of the car. I don't see too much damage on the 06. Should be okay, but that Maconi setup shop number 49 rolls on. Something new I kind of showed off last night for the first time ever. Going to bring it back here again this afternoon into this race there. You're going to see the decal on the screen now with, it was a suggestion by a viewer about showing who's who and what cars in case you can't recognize who's who. But the good thing is the SDK gaming partners that we work with to put the telemetry and stuff on the board have now photos of the cars. So now you can see when I'm focused on Byron Daly, you will see the Coors Light looking paint scheme on the screen, so you know which car I'm looking at. So you can kind of see who I'm talking about and know that that is him in the 06 car. And Tyler Reddick. Tyler Dalton, it's interesting. I made the joke with him last night about this flu bug that I kind of caught over the weekend. I said, hey, maybe we got to be careful. It might come through the computer. Yeah. Here's Tyler Dalton. Seems I may have the flu. You never know anymore these days.
Under the weather, that's never a fun thing to deal with.
No, it's not. And especially what I felt this weekend. I mean, I literally went from coughing a little bit on Friday to couldn't even move for like 2 days almost. I mean, I had to find the energy to just get up. I've never actually gotten it, but that's my choice. So as Coleman goes to the bottom, clips the apron, here comes Tommy Ryan, Mike Kelly to the top. As Ryan and Falkingham almost touch.
Man, Falkingham, he closed the door there on Ryan. Ryan left it just a little bit. Later in the race, he might not pay him that courtesy as Kelly is going to take advantage on that high side of those guys being stalled a little bit. He climbs to the outside trying to see if he can get to Daniel Falkingham. Little give up in the middle of the corner, but a good run down off, and he's coming with a head of steam. Is he going to take a look down underneath? No, he's just going to tuck right in behind him.
Something about this car, this track just brings them together and brings the racing out.
We're getting to that magic time period, right? 10 laps in, and I believe this is where the cars are going to start to step out. We're going to see these guys with their hands full.
And you see them cutting each other a little break there. Falkingham about chopped the nose off the PPG car of Mike Kelly. That could have been really bad. You see Donnie Leah back there in the fourth position there. That's him in that, we can call it the ghosted Cutler Haviland car, if you will.
It's like reversed.
It's like actually, you know what it is? More of a negative. Because you know, like in photos, they call it a negative being black and white.
Right, yeah. I'm old enough to know what that is.
I don't know if it's an old thing, technically, but...
Well, you used to make your own. I had a darkroom. Used to make my own black and white photos, so...
You throw it in the water and everything? Or whatever the substance was?
Sure. The solutions.
Bentley Glazier back here making a move on Tommy. Slid up the track. And here comes that Mountain Dew blue car.
I'm just starting to see comers and goers now. That's what I think this is about, where we see, they were running single file for a good period of that first 10 laps. And then as time goes on, we're starting to see some drivers explore those other lines, the 99 up high. I just keep seeing all the
hold on,
cars
Bentley.
spread out. Yeah, as they come off the corner. We're going to see that over and over and over again as Glazer got stepped out there out of turn 2.
Uh-oh, trouble. Justin Mons and Robert Freire spun off turn 2. Right now, no caution as they're off the track. This track is very aggressive when it comes to cautions, kind of like Las Vegas is. You have to literally be on the track for the caution to come out. But Robert Freire, the third, and Justin Mons, the first, unfortunately go around. I had to tie them together somehow. Let's see what took place here. Uh-oh, Davey Allison battling Rusty Wallace here. Oh, and just, you know what? Homestead.
Yeah.
Mons was on the bottom, slid up, and the 77 was there, right side into the wall. Mons keeps it off the wall, but tough break. And now caution is out for the first time. I don't know. Uh-oh. Joey Jatina, maybe, and Elliot Henderson? That's a playoff driver if so, Henderson. That's what's showing on my board here. Let's see.
Yeah, looks like Elliot high off of turn 2.
Right around Glenn Campbell.
There.
3 sets of tires. I have to ask, Kevin, is it too soon?
It's too soon.
So that means we're looking at restarting this race potentially on lap 20-ish with 15-lap-old tires. We do got some takers here. Daniel Falkingham's coming in. Looks like Tommy Ryan, Comstock, Glazier, Macklin, Rivera, Stenzel, Parker, Montesi, Holyfield, Roth. Actually, the majority of the field's coming in. It's about 70-30.
Let's see if they're going to take tires. I'm going to be interested in this. Maybe they feel like, they are to see four tires and fuel going on the Daniel Falkingham Camaro. This track, Chris, has a tendency to go green, contrary to how loose this setup is here tonight. Maybe these guys are thinking this is their opportunity. If they leave it in the pits and then it goes green for a long run, they're going to be in big trouble.
That's a fantastic point, because now here's the only thing now, and this could be a bad thing, it could be a good thing. You're looking at going green with exactly 100 laps to go, which means you're splitting this into a one-stop race and going 50 laps on these tires. That's going to be interesting.
It's a mix. I want to say about 1/3 to almost half the field did not pit. Coleman, Leah, Kelly, Daly, they stayed out. Gonzalez, Doy Woods. Jimmy Coleman didn't pit either.
Interesting.
I have this to say. Cautions breed cautions. For these guys who did not pit, maybe they'll run a couple laps. As loose as some of these cars are, they'll get their caution, and then they'll have a tire advantage stacked right behind a couple of these guys that are showing a little tire wear. You really want the freshest tires the longer you go into the race.
Right.
You want to make sure you have a set for the end.
So Robert Ferry got the lucky dog, I believe. He's going to be back on the lead lap here. So it'll kind of reset everybody, and I should catch everyone up. Say John Fowler did not start the race. So he is off the track and looks like will not be racing tonight. So unfortunately there for the 48. But yeah, Chad Coleman going to lead him back here to the green flag on lap number 20. So when I went to this race, there was a few different seats I've had. I sat over in the turn 1 section, which actually is not there anymore, where you could sit. But some of the early years I went there before the playoffs, this was about my college years of 04, because I went to school in Fort Lauderdale.
It's a track square and flat?
It was not. That was 1995. That's way... Dude, I was only in like 3rd grade.
Okay.
I was just here to put it like this. I was 6 years old when Hurricane Andrew hit in '92.
Okay.
As we come back to the green flag here on lap number 19. That's funny. I remember my seat being on the 10th row, and I was eye level with the back straightaway. It was perfect.
There's just something about being at the track.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
The one thing that, you know what I think about the most that really people don't see that's different from being at the track and watching is the runs. Like when you see somebody go up like Byron Daly is at the top right now,
Yeah.
it's like the run you see them carry off that top side or in the middle groove or whatever. It's like, man, it's a lot more massive than you see on TV. As Donnie Leah becomes the leader. Leah all done with his modified racing this season. Not sure exactly how he did, but I know he ran some Whelen modified cars this season up there in the
It was
Northeast.
mixed bag for him. He had some really good runs. Almost won one of the races, and then had a lot of headaches, especially at the short tracks.
Yeah. Well,
Tried to watch
isn't that
him
all
a
they
little
run?
bit. No, you know. You
I mean,
run
New Hampshire, right. I mean, yeah, they're mild, but nothing bigger than that, I don't think.
Well,
right?
that's big for those cars.
They did run New Smyrna for the first time, right?
Yeah, I believe that's right. So Falkingham with new tires has made his way to second. Now
Oh,
he
he's
drives
shit.
underneath Leah.
Linda Ronstadt here, Blue Bayou. Bye.
Man, just gone.
That's the fresh tires right there, but they need this race to go. Like, they don't need another caution like right now. This race needs to stay green for this strategy to play out right now. So Tommy Ryan going to go to second. You're going to see Macklin and Parker. Those guys go third and fourth here. I mean, as I look at this here, Jimmy Coleman, Scott Simley are the only two playoff drivers I'm seeing, according to my records here, that did not pit for tires.
Yep, I agree with you on that. Now the question is, will they find a caution along the way and become even Steven? That's what they're kind of hoping, banking on right now as we roll through.
So basically
It's been 7 laps since the restart.
Just putting on my Larry McScalla hat here. As I said, the longer the run goes, this favors the first set of cars that pitted. If this run goes another 5 laps, which would put technically for about 14 laps or so, 14, 15 laps on the set of tires, and a caution comes out, it completely wipes out the first tier strategy. The other cars are going to come to pit road and they're going to stay out. So that's basically what it comes down to right now. As Tommy Ryan ripping the boards top side here in that Virginia 811 car, but he's under attack also with Brian Macklin, top 7 cars, actually top 6 cars. Let me go edit Rivera's number. He is not a playoff driver, and you notice the drivers over in the green are playoff drivers. He's one that carries a green number, so I always forget to edit his. He always fools me with it.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
I think this is just one of those races where tactically you end up where you end up. You're not sure whether or not, you're going to end up on the good side of things. You can only play your heartstrings at the moment and deal with the consequences.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go with what you're feeling here. You're at a point in this season where you have to make a decision and you cannot hesitate. You have to trust your mind and trust your gut in the decision you're going to make. And unfortunately, you're going to live by that. And basically, another way of putting it, you have to make that bed and you got to live in it now.
Yeah, fascinating to look at the dynamic. The first, 7, 8 cars, all running the bottom mostly. Bottom or one lane up, which is what I would have thought. And then you get back in the pack and you see some of those drivers that are on the high side. Byron Daly still up there running the rim running 15th right behind Jimmy Coleman. And to your point, we have a local track near us, Bridgeport, New Jersey, where they run the high side. And when you come off that corner, if somebody's in front of you, you get such a run. They have to be aware that you're out there because you're going to come zooming up to them. And if you block them, you could potentially get the chrome horn. So you're always looking in the mirror as you come off the corner when you're down low, if you're trying to move yourself out to the fence. Byron Daly bangs the fence one more time.
He's living up there against the boards. We got 3 wide back here, and then, of course, we got a battle for the lead. Tommy Ryan was below Falkingham there for a second. But look at this mess. Downtown Miami, I-95 traffic right here, boys.
Yeah. Just fascinated to see whether anybody can make that high side work.
Another thing that was really cool about going to Homestead, it's one of the rare tracks I've seen do this. They actually, when you go down to that track and the race ends, they turn everything around and send you out one way. And what I mean by that is they even open the shoulders up. So you're literally, when you get on the turnpike down there, I believe it's a 6, it used to be 4 lanes, I think. It might be up to 6 now. But basically add 2 lanes in each lane and you're going back the other way. So you created like an 8-lane expressway getting out of that track.
Yeah, they do that for Pocono also.
We've lost. Kevin ran away.
Yeah, sorry. The roads are the roads in Pocono are just little country bumpkin roads getting into that place. So they just close them down, and you have no choice. The whole town around Pocono, Long Pond, is closed for travel after the race is over for about an hour or so.
Huh. You made me laugh on that one.
I'll tell you, this battle up front just won't go away. These guys are really fighting through it. Josh Parker has come from the back to 4th.
He likes doing that.
Macklin, point leader right there. And Tommy Ryan has been giving Daniel every headache he can take. Daniel, he's like a robot anyway, but in the context of this makes you nervous because you're constantly looking up in the mirror and seeing if you're taking the line away, trying to mess up dirty air. I'm sure Daniel wants to have clean air out front. It's got to be paramount for getting the traction. And Tommy Ryan going to the top side, trying to see if he can get around him, and the car just has no grip up there.
Yeah, I don't know if he lost the front end there or something, but he's going to try it. See if he can get a little bit of run here. But, Daniel's one of those too, and I've learned this more and more. If you're going to pass him, you got to do it early. Because eventually he gets on a long run. It's like almost impossible to pass him. And here comes Macklin. And remember, there was a little bit of something between these two last week.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a couple seasons ago that Macklin stole away a championship from Daniel Falkingham, where everybody thought Daniel was a lock, and comes Macklin to the bottom. He's got the run, but Daniel's going to shut the door.
No soup for you.
As the two of them tussle there, here comes Parker right there behind him, closing up as they come off of turn 2. He's within 2 car lengths.
Good stuff.
They have spread this track out quite a bit. Leaders going through turns 3 and 4. Couple cars strays on the backstretch. Big clump led by Jimmy Coleman coming out of turn 2, going down the backstretch at this time as the leaders come to the front. So,
yeah, the best car right now on the first set of tires is Donnie Leah, 13th position. Actually just lost that to Medina. So Medina takes 13th from Donnie Leah. The surprising group here is Randy Oakham, who's in 15th or 16th right now. Ron Holyfield's 22nd. Doug Roth, Elliot Henderson, and Doug Sigmund. I'll have to check and see if they did fuel only maybe, or if they have damage or something. But those guys have not come up through the field with the newer tires. If they have them. I'm going to go look at their times here real quickly. And some of them aren't even showing like, well, let's see, Holyfield 7 seconds. So that was likely fuel. Roth 6 seconds. That's likely fuel. So some of them maybe only did potentially damage fix too. Ooh, you saw Macklin get the nose cut across there as he slid up the track. And Parker's got to run here.
So as you go into the corner here following the leader is in clean air, getting all the air on the nose. The car's going to turn. When you're second, you're trying to put that left headlight down so that the car gets some air over the left front and helps you to turn. And he just missed that coming out of turn 2. The car stepped out. He went up high. And I think he just yielded to Parker. One of the things you'll learn, if the car tends to be loose all the time, the drivers just use this stupid phrase, it makes the tires angry. You have to give it up, cool the tires down, stop slipping and sliding, or you're going to fade very quickly. And we see the 99 just kind of step out there.
Yeah, Glazier just got by
Or
him
the
for
30,
fourth.
I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I this is now tire conservation. You're kind of distracted racing some of these other drivers, but the quintessential the racetrack is where you're at for the long run.
Just about 1/3 distance in, just the one caution so far. Fastest lap last time by was actually a 34.85, which is over a second slower already. And somebody's off the pace there. I just saw. Is that Doug Sigmund maybe in the 04?
Doug Sigmund
Yep,
going
Dougie,
to pit
yep.
road. Yeah.
And then Josh Parker coming for the lead now.
They're wheel to wheel out of turn number 2. The question is, will Parker have the drive out of the bottom? He's going to slide up. Let's see if he does a little side draft here. Pulls up, pulls down, turns in, and off he goes. Josh Parker to the lead. That is textbook.
See if he drifts up the track here and opens it for Falkingham. Nope, he keeps on by, and then Daniel gets loose. He's got Macklin all over his tail.
From last to first, or thereabouts, Josh Parker comes in and takes over the lead here on lap 40.
I've done that once. Against AI in a console game.
I don't particularly love this racetrack.
You know what's funny?
Well, I've never done it here.
On console games, I loved Homestead. On iRacing, when I first got in here in Homestead, I struggled. I was bad. And I had a couple people give me a little bit of advice. And ever since then, I've been actually pretty decent at Homestead. I'm not great. I'm not great at all, really, in any track. But it helped me kind of understand it. And basically what that was, I'll explain it, was letting your car float out to the wall, coming off the corner. Basically what I was doing when the track first came out is I was bogging the vehicle down, coming off the corner, and not letting it float out because the corners are so long and symmetrical here.
Right here on the right, when you come off is the Geico restart lane,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a beginning of when the blue paint starts. And a lot of drivers will tell you coming up off the corner, point to the first edge of Geico. You're going to drive right to the fence like you're going to crash into it, and at the last second it turns left.
Jose Gonzalez on pit road here. This is not, it might be scheduled. I mean, lap 42. Gonzalez has not been on pit road yet.
Yeah, I think for some of these guys, they're running the risk. We saw Elliot Henderson get lapped there. So I think when they see the leaders coming that close, it's time to go get some fresh tires. You know, thinking tire strategy, now if the caution comes out, all the guys that pitted in the first round, they got a fresh set of tires. They're going to come in, and everybody who did not pit is not going to be able to take advantage of the fresh tires. They really needed a caution quickly.
They get a caution right now. Their hands are tied because you're giving them one set of tires to work 75 laps with.
They got 4 sets, right? The one they started on.
3 sets of tires.
4 sets.
Whoa, okay, yeah, I'm sorry. One on, yes, yeah, you're right. So I did stay corrected. They're down to 2 sets left right now, correct?
They have the one they start on, and they
changed to 1. So they should have 2 sets
3
left.
after that, if I'm not mistaken. So they're going to split the race into 4 parts, basically. 30, 30, 30, and 30. And given we're working lap 44, if they get to lap 60, it's even Steven for these guys.
When all else fails, I just go to the website real quick, just to make sure there's clarification. Sim500.com, by the way, if you want to check out their website. Fantastic website. All information, all the history of this league.
Here comes Falkingham to the outside. He got a good run out of turn 2 to the high side. He's ahead going into 3, and he's actually going to pull that position and come back to the point.
So Daniel goes back to the front top side there. So you wonder if he took his time there and kind of let the tires come back to him. It rolls right on by. So Parker to second, Macklin to third, Glazier, and look who's in the 5th position.
Joey
The
G.
boss man's not playing around, boys.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Comstock not having a better run. For the last couple weeks, he's just been on point as far as being in that round 2, 3 position in these long runs like this. Right now, he's running 6th. I'm not sure if he got held up. Could be a lot of different reasons for that. Still having a great run in the top 10. Not only Daniel drive around him, he's now 2 car lengths out. And looks like he's
Stretching
maybe
out a little
getting a little. He has more speed and pulling away.
So of course I look on the website and it's the one rare page that does not have the tire roll on it.
The info in Sim says
Yeah, that'd be the best way.
Limited in the race 4.
Okay. So Daniel
Just peeking.
Falkingham leads this race at lap 47. We're going to get ready for the set of pit stops here for the cars that did not pit. So we're going to step aside just real quickly and get you a word from our sponsor here, the 811.com. So check this out as you're watching the Captain Esports Network.
If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on NC811.org or the NC811 app.
All right, back we are here from the Virtual Homestead-Miami Speedway as you're watching Daniel Falkingham lead this race by about a half a second or so over Josh Parker. Brian Macklin third, Bentley Glazier, Joey Jatina in the 5th position right now. Joey leading the group of the North Carolina 811 drivers. Of course, they are scattered out throughout this field. If you're in a state in the United States, then you have an 811 number, and always make sure you call before you dig. And before I miss this, I do want to mention really quickly, tonight our pole sitter was Chad Coleman in the 38 car. And Chad was the winner of the Call Before You Dig, Know What's Below pole award. So congratulations to Chad. And right now he is in the 17th position. So unfortunately not having the best of runs right now, but he's on the first set of tires, I believe, still. But Chad was the pole sitter tonight and also the winner last night from Talladega in the Trans-Service Truck Series, but that tap-out tuning Chevrolet, tonight's pole sitter. So congratulations on winning the 811 pole award. Get the bills paid real quick.
So we know universally that changing tires was the right call, at least for this stage of the race.
As it's going,
Top
yes.
14 drivers.
Mike Kelly's on pit road. 4 tires and fuel for him, 14.9. Oh, hold on, Mike, and he's going to spin on the track.
Oh, no.
Caution's coming out.
Wow. He did a Ryan Blaney down there.
There's plenty of terms you could call that. Of course, the scariest one I think of is Alex Zanardi back in 2000, but that, I got to catch what I wonder.
It looks like he dropped his left sides off on the grass, man.
As he went to accelerate.
Yeah.
We'll have to see here. As caution comes out. Oh, what a tough break for the 2. Yeah, let's go
Well,
on.
is it? He's got fresh tires. It's not going to have to
He's going to be
pit.
a lap down. He's going to have to take the waiver out.
Oh, right. Yeah, he's going to have to take the waiver out. Okay, well.
Oh, he got loose before that.
Yeah, it got loose. He went left side tires, and then the car just stepped out, and off he went.
Just goosed it a little too much there, unfortunately.
Wow, there's so many drivers that are going to send him a Christmas card right about now.
That would be people like Glenn Campbell, Donnie Leah, Chad Coleman, Doy Woods, Jimmy Coleman, Justin Mon, Simley, Holyfield, Daly, and Gonzalez.
Yeah, some of them were 24
Whoa.
seconds back. Some of them were just getting lapped. And, I look at the 43. The 43, Doug Roth had just driven around the leaders to get one of his laps back.
Right. I should eliminate Gonzalez off the list because he was actually on pit road too. All right, so leaders are in.
Feeding time at the zoo.
I heard that. Miami Zoo is a pretty popular one, by the way. Here
Got
we
a
go.
good run for Mike Montesi tonight, running in the top 10 so far. He's had a fast ride in practice in that number 6.
I would tell you how many spots he's gained, but the standings are moving everywhere with everybody pitting.
Yeah, they're flopping all over.
Race off pit road. Going to be Daniels and Bentley. Glazier with a good stop.
I wonder, Chris, if some of these guys like the 06, using the example, banging off the wall, had a little bit of damage to correct.
Oh, absolutely.
Byron Daly dinged the car here and there. Could have had some damage to repair. Going to give him a little longer of a pit stop. That's the risk for running that high side. Well, timing-wise, it's just a little bit short, right? 30 and 30, 30 and 30 for 4 sets of tires. But I'm sure that those who took tires in the first round are still okay, but everybody else has an extra set laying there.
Yeah, the problem here that these guys have run to is now Donnie Leah, Chad Coleman, those guys who started up front, unfortunately, they've lost all their track position with that run.
No track position.
16th, 17th positions now. Jimmy Coleman, Scott Simley sitting down there also right now. So a lot of track position, unfortunately, lost in that whole thing. But the good news is we're just shy of halfway. So we still got 65 laps to get back to it. So I think in this run, here's where your 30-30 theory comes into play here. You obviously can go either 30-35 or 32-33. You technically can't run a half a lap. I mean, you could, but it's weird.
Yeah.
So plenty of strategies here to go. So we'll see what takes place here. Should get the green next time by. We'll go green with 63 to go. So even better, you got 61 and a half now. So I think it's interesting because if you're somebody that feels you cannot beat Falkingham or Glazier or Macklin, one of these cars up here, if you're a non-playoff driver, you do the exact opposite of what they do. And you know what? Where you finish is where you finish. But if you just come down pit road when they do, you're going to finish behind them. So I think you're going to see people that are going to stay out longer. If this thing goes green the rest of the way, hypothetically, when you get to lap 30, you're going to see these cars come down pit road. So at lap 90, and you're going to see the others stay out probably for the rest of that, up to 110 to 115, and then maybe come in and just short fill or whatever and get out. I mean, I don't think anyone can make it this far on pit road on fuel, but I say that as Tommy Ryan is just coming to pit road in the 99 and Byron Daly in the 06.
Topped off. Yep.
So we'll keep an eye on those guys.
I think this is going to get crazy. These drivers look forward to some of these restarts and the opportunity to pass. They know it provides the best chance to gain some positions, both on pit road and here in the race. So I think it's going to be crazy once we get out of turn 2.
And what's going to be even crazier, it's going to allow the viewers to turn up their speakers here, and we're just going to sit back and watch as we turn it up on the Captain Esports Network. Let's go. halfway in this race, and you see for the lead, Brian Macklin to the bottom. These two last
side
week.
by side here for 3 laps.
Yeah, just about. These two had a little argy-bargy last week. And they're trying to obviously get it straightened back out. Of course, Macklin ended up winning that race.
You have to wonder if that plays in their head, right? As they come back here, Falkingham is just going to run his line and dare Macklin to crash him.
Who doesn't forget? I mean, we're drivers. We don't forget things.
Don't forget. Like an elephant.
I mean, I say we don't forget. We don't forget people wrecking us, but we forget our wives' anniversaries.
I don't.
I don't either. But, you know, there's somebody out there.
You get in trouble doing that.
I mean, you got alerts on your phones now. There's no way for it to happen anymore.
Yeah.
There's no excuse anymore. Period. And not to mention, you got so many things you can do now buying online. You just buy the anniversary. If, say, hypothetically, your anniversary is in like May or March, okay? You got, what, 5 months till March? Buy the gift now and put it away. That's what they do for Christmas.
Layaway.
It's pretty much a home layaway.
Top 2 will not leave each other alone. The complexion of the race kind of changed and strung out quickly. I'm surprised. I don't know if it's just a driver settling in here through the middle. 2 drivers, then a group of about 8, and then another 2 or 3 back here. Gerald Livingston looking down low here on the 24. Jose Medina, they're running side by side back there for the 11th position. But Medina had it, and Livingston just took it away.
Livingston having a great run. Livingston having a great run against the 24 car, which that Medina car, as I see it, I can't help but think about the history of that car. The probably biggest ban in all of NASCAR history on that specific car. The Jurassic Park car from the 1997 Winston ended up beating the field down that night and won the race. Pretty much everybody knew something was up with the car.
Don't bring that car back.
It passed inspection, and NASCAR said, look, don't bring this car back.
Yeah. I think it's in the museum. I saw it at Hendrick's
Yeah.
place.
Oh! Macklin had the door shut on him there by Daniel.
Yeah, I'm going to say something that's out of character, right? But Daniel is like, biatch, you're not doing this week, you know what I'm saying? Just, I can do whatever I want,
That's
and you
awesome.
are not going to touch me. You know that, right?
Where's that dump button at? No. Oh.
Yeah, Daniel has been out front since lap 45, but it has not been easy. What a run Macklin had off of turn number 4. He's to the outside and pushing the issue.
He keeps getting that run off of 4. I'm not sure if it's the draft or what he's doing. That 2 laps in a row, though, he's just kind of moved up to the middle groove coming out of the corner and got the run. And now they're going to go side by side here.
You do pick up a draft when you run behind somebody there. And
cleared him.
Daniel also has to be careful coming up out of 4 that he doesn't have the car step out when the 30 is behind him taking air off the spoiler, and Macklin's just going to drive around and drive away.
This could be Daniel saying, you know what, you go burn your tires up then.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, that's a very good point.
As Parker looks inside here on Comstock for 4th. He's going to try to get 2 for 1 inside of Glazier for 3rd. So,
Side
pop
by
quiz
side out of
question.
2 there.
Do you remember who won the first ever race here? It was 1995. It was a Busch race. I'll give you all that.
No, I have no
He's a
idea.
NASCAR Hall of
Maybe
Famer.
check.
I'll give you that too.
NASCAR Hall of Famer.
It was on the rectangle, by the way, you mentioned.
Yep, I could guess all the Hall of Famers, but I have no clue.
It was Dale Jarrett.
Is that right? I was
Dale
thinking
Jarrett.
Dale Jarrett when you said that. Dale
They,
Jarrett and Bobby Labonte. Is
they,
this their type of track?
They came off turn 3, I think it was, and the leaders wrecked, and he was the first one through. Took the checkered flag.
Oh, really?
Oh, somebody's spinning off the back straightaway over there. Glenn Campbell. Into the inside wall. He's off the track, though. Will stay green. As Campbell toes back to the pits.
Ah, boy, what a season for him. It's been up and down.
And Doug Sigmund goes to the pits here. Not sure what happened to Dougie. Let's see what happened to Glenn. Did he get help or did he get the bump? We ain't even talked about that yet. There's a bump over in turn 2 that is not friendly. Oh, yeah, he got helped.
Yep.
The dinosaur
I think
bit.
he just slid up into the 24.
And the dinosaur didn't like it and bit him. But there is a bump on the exit of turn 2 at the transition that if you hit it right, it will send you packing.
Otherwise, this racetrack is smooth as glass. There's no bumps hardly anywhere. I mean, anything that upsets the car and compresses the car, it's pretty darn good, which surprises me, given it sits down there and bakes in that Miami heat.
Well, think about it, though. There's not really cold weather that comes in there. I mean, you get the rain and stuff, but most of these other tracks, you got the winter that comes in.
Elliot Henderson down there on the apron.
I think Miami gets, what, 6
He too
hours of
got-
winter?
Let's see, he came off of the corner, got loose, banged the outside wall, went down to the apron, was able to collect it, but a lot of damage to the 37.
37.
And one of your title contenders taking his car to pit road.
Yeah, not one of the runs he's been wanting. He's one of those down towards the bottom. It needs the help more than the hurt to get up here back in this battle. But Brian Macklin is sending out a message to the field saying, you know what? You guys said this is going to be a Daniel runaway. Not so much.
He has a penchant for showing up late in the season and just getting on kill. He's in Joey Logano mode here.
Donnie
You know,
Lee.
I'm coming back to the track. If this track is subject to baking heat but no cold, what's the story with California and the porpoising going down the backstretch then?
Well, I can answer that question. If you go look at where that track is, it's in the mountains. It's not like, it's almost a good 60 miles to the east of Los Angeles. And when you go east in California, it's, I forget is it San Bernardino Mountains? I forget what the mountain chain is there. Yeah, there's a mountain off the back straightaway of it. So you've got the heat to go. Oh, contact!
Ooh.
Comstock got loose in front of Glacier. But, so there you've got, rain. You've got the snow likely that hits there. You've got the coldness, the hotness. So, and plus this track was repaved in 2003 and reconfigured. 97 is Fontana.
Yeah. Comstock's car has been doing what we thought we were going to see, stepping out, center off, meaning from the center of the corner, off the corner to the backstretch, front stretch. Car's got a little bit of a wiggle. We were talking about whether or not he could make his show here in the top 5, and he was there, but that little wiggle is going to set him back a little bit as the top 4 start to drive away.
Let me throw a better comparison to you. Let me. I'll have your brain going here in a second.
Okay.
Let's look at tracks like Las Vegas, Charlotte. All right, we'll go Las Vegas and Charlotte, and then let's look at Indianapolis. You look at Indianapolis. Is there a bump on that track anywhere?
Nope.
And if there is, you don't see any patches on the track at all. Mind you, that Indianapolis, lived up in that area too for a little bit, is
Brutal.
clouds for 4 months straight. I mean, you get one day of sun. About this time now, all the way until April, you see the sun once a week. You think I'm kidding, go up there, you'll see it. And that track doesn't have a single, but yet you go to Charlotte, you go to Vegas, you go to Atlanta, these tracks wear out, and Indy just looks fresh and new, and nothing's wrong with it. I think it has to do with the flatness, to be honest with you.
Either that or the substrate that they built the track is just industrial, but hey, you're seeing a lot of swap for positions back here mid-pack. I see Joey Jatina heading to pit road right
Whoa,
now.
hold on.
Wow, I don't know that he planned that.
He might have
Either
planned
that
it,
or
but he
he
didn't plan on it
communicated
being that
well.
tough getting there. As he comes to pit road, 43 to go. He locks down that North Carolina 811 car. Right side tires going on. One thing he does not have
I
to
was
worry
just
about is a
thinking
loose
about how
lug.
they were all coming and going right in that spot there. Maybe they decided tires.
He made it under speed. 4 tires and fuel, 14.7.
It's going to go a lap down now as the leaders strip around him. He's
Yeah.
got to come all the way around the entry road. And he's going to come out somewhere about 2/3 of the way through the pack, but he's going to have fast tires if he can get through cleanly.
Doug Roth on pit road. Yeah, he's going to have the freshest tires of the bunch here, and he needs this race to stay green now.
So out front, Macklin has driven away,
Yep. Well, yeah.
holding about a half-second lead over Falkingham. Parker, 1.2 seconds back. Donnie Lee has come to life in this run now that he's on even Steven tires. Donnie's always fast at this racetrack. I remember running with him and having him win a race, not a Monday race, but a different race here.
I wonder if he would say, if I asked him what this track reminded him of, I wonder if he would say Thompson from a modified standpoint. Just the way the multiple bankings, the roughness. Hold on! He had all hands and feet on the wheel there. I mean, because I'm trying to think of a high bank track on iRacing, or even in real life what they run. That would be anything like Homestead with the worn out surface. And all right, he's gonna let me get out of his car.
See Mike Montesi just kind of struggling through this section here.
I mean, if any viewers can think of tracks, I'm trying to think of. I mean, Thompson's the only one I could think of that you go up the track and kind of. I mean, Salem's like that, but they don't run it in a modified.
Right.
As
but I'm just thinking from a track dynamic.
New leader. Something happened with Macklin and Falkingham got him. This literally just happened. I looked up and I saw the change happen. 39 laps to go. Let's Macklin got loose off 4.
Yeah, chase the car all the way down to near the white line. And
you know what I think happened here? I'm curious. I want to rewind this back a little bit more. And we talked about this off the air a little bit. You wonder how many of these cars, as these tires wear out, are going to slide up the track from being tight. But then, obviously, the car snaps on them.
well, what I've noticed is, and we were talking about this, they run the bottom of 1 and 2 right down on the white line. That tends to keep the car down in the flat. If you're not pushing it, it's not really killing that right rear. But over here in 3 and 4, they've been running a line up and trying to get that drive off. And Macklin's car loose again off of turn 4 that time by.
Kevin, if you look on my screen right here, that seam is the 20 degrees of banking that starts up.
Yeah.
It happened as he crossed over that seam.
Well, we've not talked about if the left sides are one side of the seam and right are on the other. That
It'll
tends to
loosen the car up.
upset the car. Yeah.
It de-wedges it, and I wonder that's exactly what happened to Macklin. And now he's going to lose second to Parker. So that right rear might be a little angry now. That is something we have not talked about much, is the seams and how if you straddle it, it can loosen the car up and cause issues. And you want to drive straight over. And here comes the Superman car of Joey Jattina.
Green bullet passing
one,
by.
2 little, 3 little cars, 4 little, 5 little, and he's got.
He is like a Green Hornet here going through.
He's got Speedy Gonzalez behind him.
So it just shows the advantage of tires.
Right.
You know, there was another thing that we've not talked about. Fuel mileage. Maybe the 39 was riding behind the 30 just to save a little fuel for part of that run.
You're going to have to do it
Now
for a
he's
little longer.
decided that, you know, there's enough fuel, I'm going to run it.
I think if you're going to fuel mileage, you got to do it early in the run, because by then you kind of know what you have before, and it's not too late to go catch up. Where if you decide late in the run, all right, I need to back off, it might be a little too late. As see Scott Stenzel come to pit road. But you remind me of saying that. I'm looking for Tommy Ryan right now in the 14th position. I want to get on board with him here in a second. I want to hear how he's running his car, because that'll tell me exactly if he's saving to go the rest of the way on fuel here. Right side's going on the personal comfort number 42. And his pit crew not sleeping on the job, 15-1. Good stop for him. And let's, as I said, here's Tommy Ryan coming off turn 4, and let's ride with him here. Hal Lady is back to the throttle. Staying in 5th gear, which is exactly what you want to do. You want to be in the highest gear. I heard roughly 4.5 seconds of off gas time. Car behind him about wrecked.
And as we watch these cars, they're getting more and more nervous. On throttle coming up out of the corner here. This is that bewitching hour where you're going to see possibly a car step up, slide down out of turn number 4. With the green flag runs that we've had, these drivers out of turn 2, I mean, they need to be really careful that they're not the one that makes that mistake. Track position, such a premium.
Donnie Leah up to the 2nd position, just past Josh Parker for that spot. So the 29 up to P2 as Justin Mons comes to pit road.
Blazer's car, the 18, running currently in 6th, looks a little bit nervous. Here comes the 13 of Comstock. He's going to go down underneath Macklin, take over that 4th position.
Well, I really think Macklin made that right rear mad. I mean, how much we say it and that kind of thing, trust me, it can actually happen. You get, basically, you get that right rear too hot, you know, it becomes slick.
I think Comstock's probably one of the most underestimated drivers, and this year especially, he's just found speed plus consistency, which is a dangerous combination for the rest of the field.
Oh yeah, because I mean, speed when you run a fixed setup league like this, everybody has it. Let's be honest, everybody has it. As Brian Macklin comes to pit road, Doy Wood's coming with him. Everybody has the speed because everybody has the same setup. It's a matter of running the setup to your liking. It's a matter of being able to drive the car steady and know the track. And so many, and caution is out. Run Holyfield.
Oh.
And Macklin's going to blow through his pit stall. Macklin blows through his pit stall here and stays out. Oh, that's going to hurt him.
Why would he not pit? I don't understand.
Well, because the leaders are going to come around and take the get to the caution car. And he would go a lap down likely. Because here they are through the Falkingham's on the gas all the way to turn 1 already.
Maybe 2 tires or something like that.
Yeah, no, this is
in his pit box.
Oh,
I guess you're right. They were carrying too much speed.
That is a potential playoff changer, not only a race changer right there. And I think the 2 car might be involved in this too. Let's see. Do we have a playoff driver and possibly in this? Mike Kelly's in front of the 1. Oh, Mike gets loose. Middle groove there. Tries to overcorrect it right in front of Ron.
Ron was minding his own business there.
Mike, lock it down. Hope Mike don't have a concussion from the hit on the back. All right, let's jump to pit road here. Leaders are in. This could be the money stop right here for everybody.
This is such an aero-dependent track. Just one more footnote on that. Kelly took a couple pops there, especially backed the car into the wall. So I have to wonder if his car is going to perform.
And remember, the most important part of the downforce in this car is in the rear, the diffuser. It's not the front of the car anymore. It's the rear. Race off pit road. Daniel by a few inches there over Donnie Leah. Then it's Doy Woods coming out 3rd. Simley and Falkingham. Something don't look right here. Oh, we got cars staying out. Never mind. Falkingham, Leah Parker, Comstock, and Glazier, your top 5 off pit road. But we had 5 stay out. Joey Jatina, Jose Gonzalez, Doy Woods, Scott Simley, your front four.
I have to imagine Doy is going to pit this time.
Scott
He's got
maybe
4
two.
laps on
The
his
other
tires.
two pitted.
I think he just wanted to catch up to the field so that when he pulled into pit, he was, he was going to tuck in. So is Joey.
Interesting.
Such an unfortunate thing because Joey was in 10th as he pits out here, but with 16 laps on his tires, that pit strategy is just not going to work for him. That's too bad. He's going to lose all the track.
Is he going to take a set of tires here? He's not taking tires.
Huh?
Yeah, he topped off. You know what he might be doing is falling to the back so he don't cause any issues on the restart.
Yeah.
All right, let's see the wreck one more time here. So Mike just gets loose right there. Tries to overcorrect, and Ron just nowhere to go. And Mike here. He just lets it roll down the track. Unfortunately, that is a habit that a lot of people don't like, but at the same time, it's a habit that's easier said than done to do. Lock down the car.
Yeah. I think he was trying to do a Dukes of Hazzard, but he never got the car to swing.
It never got to swing around, right?
Yeah.
All right, so as we come to the green...
Bo didn't cut it fast enough.
Dang it, Bo.
Was it Bo that drove the car or Luke? I don't remember.
Yeah, I've never really ever got a chance to watch that show. You had to ask me that. So let's look at the 811 cars real quick, see how they're running in this race. Of course, presented by the North Carolina 811.com Cup Series. And, of course, they're the main sponsors here tonight. Big shout out to those guys who are watching here tonight. I believe Chad Coleman is one of their guys. He's running right now in the... I'm actually pulling up their list right now. It's 8th position. Chad's not, but we're going to give him a shout out anyways. Tommy Ryan in the 12th position. I think he was trying to the fuel, move. And he runs in 11th now. And we'll start on the outside there, 11th or 12th, somewhere in that area. Randy Oakham, big advocate for the, of course, 811 guys. Yeah, he runs there in the 15th position, doing a good job keeping it clean here tonight. There's Joey Jatina back in 17th right now after his situation there. Mike Kelly, unfortunately, backed her into the wall there in that 2 car. He's got a little bit of damage there in the 25th position right now. He is actually a lap down right now. So that's pretty much the group of guys that are here. As Jose Gonzalez has stayed out. He pitted at lap 73. Don't spin the tires, Jose, because the car's going to the right if it does.
Yeah, 22 laps on his tires.
Boy, he gave them plenty of room. Great job by Jose.
He's running the target car.
Oh, hold on. Josh Parker's loose.
They're
and a wreck, big wreck.
Piling in.
Parker, Coleman. Tommy Ryan gets in there. You know, I think this started. I think I saw them go 3 wide on the restart.
Yeah.
And Parker made a move, I think, on the 39 of Falkingham. Hey, that line you said about an hour ago, what was that? Cautions?
Yeah. Cautions destroy cars.
That's a good one.
Talks about that. I said 81 took some pretty big hits over there.
Looks like 2 of the cars mainly damaged in this are going to be playoff cars. Let's look at this restart here, because it's going to happen right up at the front. It's funny, I was worried about Jose spinning the tires, and it's the guys with the fresh tires that caused it. But watch here is the outside lane. Falkingham, I don't know if he just doesn't get a good restart and checks up because of Jose, which is quite possible here, because obviously Jose having a hard time getting going. So Josh is going to try to get a jump here. Let's see, he starts poking nose to the inside here. Oh, he gets in the back of Daniel right there.
I'll tell you what I see.
And there's the contact.
The 81 was trying to take advantage of a slow 39 and shoot the gap. Drove down across the 29.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't enough real estate there. That was a land grab that didn't go well. Unfortunately, the one that took the biggest hit was Bad luck this season, Chad Coleman.
I mean, they're 5 wide right there.
With the 81 wobbling.
How much damage does Comstock have? Oh, Tommy Ryan, center punches the 06. Here comes the Jurassic Park car with a hit to the rear. So,
I think Comstock
do we
drove right
blame
through that.
do we blame Josh for that move? I mean, is it okay? I mean, I guess if you're going for it here with how many laps to go, I don't think, can you really blame him for trying that kind of move, or is that too aggressive?
You got enough laps there that you just, took yourself out of contention. As much as I could Monday morning quarterback this thing.
Right, yeah. I mean, I'm not
It's a
asking
judgment call.
for... Right.
I don't know if he was trying to take evasive action not to run into 39, but again, just following the history of some of these drivers, you know who's aggressive and who's not. I think he was trying to shoot the gap, and when he turned down, he just got across the side of the Donnie Leah car and then never collected the car properly. David Comstock did a great job missing that. They were sideways. He didn't panic, drove through it, but unfortunately collected the 38. And Chad Coleman, once again, bad like a black cloud.
On board with Josh here. Outside lane. Let's watch this here.
Right here, the 39 backs up, and he turns down. I don't know if Donnie didn't know what was going on, but Donnie kind of held his line. He didn't turn down in, but he wasn't. That's his prerogative, right?
Right. I mean, I see what Josh is doing there, because yes, Daniel is slowing up to try to make sure he doesn't beat Jose on the restart.
Right.
So Josh is trying to take advantage of that. I don't know if you can blame anybody for this.
I didn't, patience is a virtue, and hindsight is 2020. You could just keep saying all these things. If I'm Parker, I don't know how it helps to push the issue at that point. Other than, there's one dynamic in you could play Josh's favor. He's got to look out the rearview mirror and wonder if Glazer's going to run him over if they're all stacked up, right? So maybe he feels like in that moment he's got to go. There's so many things. That's what you don't take credit for, is when you're driving a car, you're processing 85 things at once, and you just make that decision with instinct, and sometimes you get through it, sometimes this is what happens.
You just reminded me of something. Look at the points as we enter this race tonight. That is a move by somebody that is that far back trying to go get a win and get as many points as he can right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
I can't blame him for that. He's given full effort for it. So no, I mean, yes, could he have been patient about it? Yeah, but again, it's that whole bunch of cliches you could bring into play there. But Josh knows that he's in a spot right now where he's got 3 races left. Everybody's up front. He's got to go win the race. So I can't blame him for it. So just racing and the way this championship goes. Basically what it comes down to there. All right, so Falkingham leads Gonzalez to get on the older tires up front here. This is where Jose could spin him. And he does a good job not doing it.
Going to get away clean.
Now it's a matter of how much they scatter here. This ought to be interesting. This track's plenty of room to go 3, 4 wide. Here's 3. Here comes 4.
Oof.
They kept it 3. Now they're 3 wide all the way to the back.
He actually held his own pretty well going down the backstretch. Now to the high side, he's got Glazer kind of pushing him through the corner.
That might
on test, he's going, stay there.
That might not be the safest thing to do.
Just have to update the 14 went in and got tires, so now he's even with everybody else.
Remember who didn't take tires a few minutes ago? That 14 car. I like that move. All right, so Falkingham, Donnie Leah up to second. David Comstock quietly up to third. Look at Nelson Rivera in the 4th position.
Yeah, Nelson was saving his car on that long run. He was way off the top leaders, but right now that he has the track position in that top 5, I believe he's going to try and make himself a player. Jimmy Coleman running 5th. I tell you, Jimmy Coleman's, he reminds me of Pearson. He just is that steady Eddie, and come the end of the race, he's somewhere up there.
That's that old Silver Fox, as you talk
Yes.
about there, yeah?
Well, these guys out back are just clawing for positions. You got Hollifield and Mons, you got Friery the third, you got Kelly trying to come back through and rescue whatever he can, and they're all running in that just outside of 10th position trying to get themselves a top 10 here tonight.
You got those two doing that. You got the leaders swapping fast times with each other. Daniel ran the fastest lap 2 laps ago. Donnie come back and ran the fastest lap the next lap. They're going to go run their tires off. And this might become everybody's race. They do that.
I don't know what happened to the 14. He's way back there.
Well, remember, you said he
pitted.
pitted. So he's, and we got him pitting at 93. So he is back 1.4 right now. He just went past Gonzalez. I think he's just being patient. He's going to let this thing come to him.
Yeah, he was further up though. I mean, he was running 14th at the restart or whatever, and now he's back to 21st. So something up with that.
He, if I can find what took place potentially.
You have to think about this.
Well, you know what it is. He saw this gaggle right there.
Once you get past lap 100, everybody goes on kill. There's nothing to save. You've got fresh tires or whatever you're going to have. Everybody's pretty much even Steven at this point. Macklin slipped back to 7th. So Falkingham, who had been dogged by Brian all race long, is going to gain 7 spots right now. The points end as it is, which is what he needs to do. He just needs to get 7, 8 points on these guys to be back in the mix for 2 more races.
Which 7 points? I mean, with the battle we have, it's like the points lead. I mean,
but with his misfortune last week, he was 14 back, so he's got to, at minimum, cut that in half to have a play for these guys.
Right. Going to Martinsville next week, by the way. So, yeah, tonight's been a wild card, and now we go to a wild card. You see Coleman here battling with Macklin there, and Glazier also in this battle.
33.773 for Falkingham. Last lap, fastest car on the racetrack, Brian Macklin. 33.642 in comparison. And a good speed also there for David Comstock, but right now, fastest car on the track is the 30 car.
Look at the car behind him. We mentioned him earlier. What is guiding in the Gerald Livingston here? What a run for him. Super cool.
Yeah, just every once in a while, a driver finds a track that suits their style of driving. And Livingston, he's got it going on here tonight at Homestead.
12 laps to go. Good.
The question I have is, what's Leah going to do? He's stalking him right now. Leah would love nothing more to take the checker and spoil the party here.
Well, who has more to lose here?
You know that Donnie's got to be aware, though, that what's going on from a championship standpoint. So he's going to do his best to pass him clean. But he is an aggressive driver, no doubt. When it comes to wanting it, Donnie's going to put the bumper to you if he can get a win. Cleanly, but he's going to do it now. He stepped out, meaning car just yawed sideways out of turn number 2. And it opened up immediately 2 car lengths. Now he drives it hard down into turn 1. Really hard on the throttle through to center. Close it up to a car and a half. But Daniel's got such good drive off that he just opens that space back up to 2 car lengths to the backstretch.
Yeah, you see that battle going on. Should mention Gerald Livingston lost the spot to Doy Woods for 8th. Macklin got by Coleman for 6th. And back here for third, we watch Rivera go to the inside of Comstock here, trying to get himself into the top three as they battle it out. So got some great battles. Montesi back there looking inside of Livingston. Might throw the broadcaster's jinx at him.
I'll do it.
I might have already, unfortunately.
I won't do it. I have to say that, you know, we talk about how much this win could mean to Falkingham. For Comstock, he's 6 points out, and he does not want to lose this spot here to Rivera.
Oh, no.
He's going to do everything he can in these final laps to keep the every point's going to count here come final race this season.
8 laps to go. 0.2 of a second between Falkingham and Leah. As you mentioned, Comstock there in the third position. Rivera and Glazier, your top 5.
Comstock's got to feel like Jamie Lee Curtis on Halloween, that Rivera is just stalking him, and if he gets down underneath and upsets that car, Glazer's right there to pounce too. He could lose 2 spots in one shot.
So I think Jatina is waiting on one more caution potentially, because I'm watching his times, and he is a good 13 seconds off the leaders here. So I think he's still on the same set of tires as earlier. Kind of update knows who might be wondering what's going on with the boss man there.
Yeah, you know, now that I think about it, you're right. He pitted, but he didn't take tires. We remember documenting that. So yeah, that's probably what's going on there. I thought he was on a fresh set of tires, but now that I remember, that's not the case. He's got roll bar padding. He's got a couple cups and
You know, he's throwing things out everywhere.
throwing them out the window. He'd be tearing his seat rest off if he could.
So Daniel leads now 0.3 over Leah. You see Comstock still holding on to third. Everybody pretty much down on the bottom now. Trying to get everything they can out of their car.
Good battle for that 7th position. Here comes Doy Woods to the bottom of Jimmy Coleman. He's going to take that position out of 4, slide down underneath. Coleman says, nope, not yet. I'm going to hang tough here on the outside. He's got Montesi right there behind him. Looks like that bottom line's going to prevail, though, as both Montesi and Doy Woods drive by. That's 2 spots back for Coleman. Again, these drivers do not want to see those points slip away at this juncture.
Especially playoff drivers. Do not at all. How about this comeback for Justin Mons? He was involved in that wreck earlier. And here he is in that McConey setup shop, number 49, running in 11th position right now. So great run for Mons. And Leah has got this lead down to a 10th now all of a sudden.
Yeah, right back to him.
Donnie maybe using that short track knowledge a little bit here and kind of backing the car off, cool the tires down and make a run. He cuts it left and almost loses the back end there, trying to get the run for the lead.
34.701 to a 34.581 out back. Leah found some speed that last lap, maybe just in the line, doing whatever. Here he comes off of
Lost
turn
momentum
4
there.
to the high side, and the car stepped out a little bit. 2 to go?
3 to go.
3 to go.
Of course, Donnie, who has one of the more exciting real-life finishes you'll see in NASCAR history. If you go look up the Mansfield race of, 2008, I think, or something like that, in a truck series, went to victory lane in that race on a 3-wide outside pass.
That was awesome.
Of course, unfortunately, Mansfield doesn't exist anymore. 2 laps to go.
Friday Night Heat or whatever that was, Tucson thing?
Well, no, it was a truck series. The actual Camping World Truck Series at the time was going there. Yeah. As a matter of fact, it was a Saturday afternoon and Fox was airing the race, if I remember correctly.
And these drivers got a handful, man. Their cars are stepping out and they're just begging for the finish here. As Leah is hounding. Now he goes to the high side to see if he can pull some speed out of turn number 4.
There it is. White flag is in
steps
the air.
out.
Yep, final lap here from Homestead. Leah trying to get all the pressure he can on Daniel here.
Down low to the white line in turns 1 and 2. Drives off of Turn number 2 out
Ooh,
to the
got
outside
loose.
car,
Got
very
loose.
nervous. This is going to be a good insurance policy for Falkingham, who's driving into turn 3 for the final time.
A rough finish last week in Vegas cost him the points lead. Tonight, though, he bounces back. Homestead-Miami Speedway goes to Falkingham as he continues his quest for a championship. Leah, Comstock, Glazier, Rivera, your top 5.
Yeah, I'm interested to talk to Donnie at the end of this and just see what he has impressions about his car and how hard he was driving it, because he was up on the wheel trying to do all he could, but just didn't look like his tire wear was as good as he wanted it to be. And Brian Macklin settles for 6, which is going to be some valuable points there for Daniel Falkingham over your point leader. Good run for David Comstock and Bentley Glazer. Yeoman's work for those two for point championship run. And Jimmy Coleman slipped back there a couple positions. He's going to be disappointed with that, but still a decent run for the number 54, top 10, finishing in 9th.
You're looking at potentially 4 cars being less than 10 points apart going to Martinsville next week. Because Tommy, unfortunately, Ryan finishes in 20th, so he's going to take a big hit, unfortunately. But the rest of these cars, you're looking literally at about less than 10 points.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's going to be an interesting study of how do you attack that race next week. I have no idea what the strategy should be. Do you try and run for the win? Do you try and stay out of trouble? Are you looking for just the top 10 as Falkingham writes his name on the front stretch here? Man, I'll tell you, what a good run for Daniel in the clutch.
Yeah, I think you got to go up front in Martinsville. I mean, there's only one place to go, and that's up there at the front. But yeah, Daniel gets the win here by 4/10 over Donnie Leah. David Comstock finishes 3rd. Bentley Glazier, Nelson Rivera, Brian Macklin, Mike Montesi, Doy Woods, Jimmy Coleman, Gerald Livingston ends up a 10th place finish for him. Of course, 11th goes to Justin Monge, 12th to Mike Kelly. Scott Simley, 13th. Scott Stenzel finishes 14th. Robert Ferry to 3rd, 15th. Randy Oakham, 16th. Doug Roth finishes in the 17th position. Ron Holyfield finishes 18th. 19th going to Jose Medina, and Tommy Ryan, as I mentioned, going to take a little hurting on that one, finishing in the 20th position here this evening.
21st for Chad Coleman. Joey Jatina soldiers on for 22nd. 23rd tonight for Jose Gonzalez. Josh Parker, after the incident, did not finish. 9 laps down, 24th. 25th tonight for Byron Daly in the 06. Elliot Henderson, his championship hopes slipping away with a 26th place finish. 27th tonight for Glenn Campbell. Doug Sigmund, troubles all night here tonight, just didn't get things going his way. He finishes 28th, and John Fowler, as we said, did not make the call in the number 48. He's going to be shotgun on the field, 29th.
There you go. And we'll talk with at least the top 3 drivers. Maybe pull 1 or 2 people up here, especially some of the playoff drivers here as we go into our little post-race show here at Homestead-Miami. After a fantastic race and a fantastic finish for some of the drivers, let's get David Comstock up here, who finishes in the 3rd position, and start with him in that Monster Energy car. David, fantastic run out there. Obviously, I know it wasn't easy.
It was eventful. I saw my from eyes on I think it was that wreck, the restart with Josh and Donnie. They got together into one, and I thought Josh was going to save it. I checked up because he had slid sideways and looked like he was going to come down the track in front of me, and I thought he was going to gather it and he was going to be fine. Next thing you know, he just darts up the track and it overcorrected on him. But I thought I was going to door him, so I thought my race was done.
Well, obviously it worked out better for you in the end here, and I'm just kind of guesstimating. I'm waiting for them to get the points updated, but I'm looking at potentially 4 drivers next week going to Martinsville less than 10 points apart. How big is this short track race going to be?
Just like every single one of them, the last 5, you can't try to lay back and try to, especially late in the race, you just have to go for it. So it's just pretty much trying as hard as you can. You first half of the race, just try not to like get yourself in a situation, get yourself messed up. But when it comes down to the end, like I had a restart there where I had to go 3 wide. I don't like being aggressive on restarts and putting guys in situations, but you gotta go where they're not sometimes and try to carve through the front if it's an opportunity to gain 4 or 5 spots, because it was super hard to pass to get one, let alone one through a run.
Right.
So, every single one of these races are very, very important to try to just maximize your potential.
Well, man, it was fantastic watching your run tonight. Great third place finish for you, and send some shouts whoever you like to, bud.
Yeah, appreciate NC811, Call Before You Dig, for sponsoring us here on Monday nights. Appreciate Sim500 and all the admins for running our leagues they provide for us. Appreciate you guys for broadcasting. Thanks to all my teammates at Team Name. Congrats to Daniel on the win. Thanks to Monster Energy and everybody out there watching. It's gonna be a hell of a fight. The next 2 races are I think we're down to single digit points between the top 3 or 4. I think we're all separated maybe like by a couple points. We'll see where the points land tonight, and from what I could tell, like Daniel and I were talking, I think he overlapped me by 1 point with the win and the bonus points because I didn't lead a lap. And I think Macca was point leader, and I was like 6 behind him. And I think we finished 3 or 4 ahead of him, but he got a point for leading. So I think the spread is probably within 5 points for like maybe the top 3 or 4.
Perfectly said. That's why I was kind of heard me chuckling there. They just updated. It is Macklin by 2 over Daniel, and then it's you and Glazier 4 points back.
There we go.
Let the fun begin, boys.
It's gonna be an all-out brawl all the way to Phoenix.
All right, so
tune in next week, everybody.
All right, let's see how many team namers are in here. It's no you know what in Martinsville, okay? No team.
Oh, we just
you know what I mean,
right?
Yeah,
right.
Okay.
I mean, well, you saw us. Unfortunately, they can't they don't allow the Ross Chastaining Scott to do it. And
well, I was more thinking of the. I'm trying to respectfully say this without because of the tragedies that's happened, but the other guy, sending somebody to turn 1, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I mean, you saw what Dan did earlier this year, so I mean, he set the precedent. He set the precedent. Hey, if I get my shot, if I get my shot, he set the precedent. Can't be mad about it.
All right, my man. Well, hey, great job tonight.
Thanks. See you guys.
David Comstock, 3rd place finisher this evening in the race. Kevin, I'm stunned by this. 4 drivers within 4 points after tonight's race with 2 races to go. You've got, unfortunately, one of the drivers that's not in that battle, but got to be happy with a 2nd place finish.
Yeah, we're going to get a chance, hopefully, to talk to Donnie Leah. Let's see if we could pull him up and have a conversation with him real quick.
Slowly working on it.
You grabbed him. I grabbed him.
We're all grabbing him. There he goes. He's up here now.
There he is. Well, how about that, Donnie Leah? It's nice to see you back. And it was a challenging race all the way through, but you drove up to the front and had a shot at the win there. What did you need to get past Daniel at the end?
Hey guys, what's up? Yeah, thanks, man. Clean air.
Yeah, clean air.
Yeah. Just it's so hard to make moves there in that dirty air, especially at this setup and whatnot was just in the track, whatever the combination was, this car was really, really hard to drive. So, dirty air just made it that much worse. But I don't know that I could have beat him either way. I mean, Daniel's, he's on his game. So, and I don't really race that much anymore, but it was fun. I got hats off to him. He was real consistent at the end and really didn't make many mistakes. So, yeah, he did a good job.
We watch your race. We watch you go. You close in. You start to peak. Car gets a little loose. You slip back a little bit. You regroup and you come back up. Look like a yo-yo a little bit at some point. It is hard to pass there, especially look like turn 2 coming out. Car got loose.
Yeah, turn 2 was. I don't know. The whole place is really tough tonight. But yeah, I gained some and then slip a little bit and then running back down. Daniel, I don't know. He's so fast. He could have just been riding the whole time. I really don't know. But yeah, it was fun. I thought maybe we had something for him there because I went running back down. But yeah, it just get a little greedy with the throttle. Car is so loose here, tight. Real tight center. and then crazy loose when you go to get back on the throttle. So if you're not disciplined, you stay on your game with the the gas pedal, it just gets so loose and out of control. And I just got a little too greedy there trying to run them down.
Yeah.
So
I can't blame you. And you see that opportunity right in front of you. You're going to try a bunch of different things. We saw you go high. We saw you take different lines. I want to go back to that restart where Josh Parker came across the side of your car. Were you aware of what was going on there? Take us through your view of what happened.
I don't even know. I as far as I just got hit in the door. Looked like he was maybe trying to like make a hole there or something, but there was nowhere to really go. And then I didn't know if I crowded him. I didn't really know what happened. I just know I got driven. I was drove into somebody's door, or someone drove into my door, and then got a little out of shape. Gathered it up, but I guess he was really out of shape. So yeah, these things are a handful on going back to green on stickers. They're a handful all the time, but the first 2-3 laps are just they could be a little more of a handful. So yeah, I guess he got out of shape, or maybe he was trying to make a hole there. I really don't know. I got to ask him.
Yeah, it did look like Daniel was slowed up a little bit, and he might have been trying to shoot the gap. I wanted to ask you. I've watched a bunch of your races on Flow Racing running Old Blue this year. How was that getting back into the car now that the season's closed for you? That seemed like you had a lot of fun running the thing. Some challenging nights, but
Yeah, that was a blast. Definitely to go back racing was a good opportunity for me. It's been 5 years since I raced, so to go and run some races this year, that was awesome. I would have liked to run better at some points, but we had a shot to win a race or two, and I, I I can't ask for more than that. That was really a lot of fun. And I don't think I would have told you that I would have went and out and could have contended for a win before we went. With it being a while, so couldn't ask for anything more. Yeah, a lot of fun, and hopefully I could do something next year. I don't know. We don't really have anything planned yet, but that was definitely fun, and I appreciate you watching, man. That's cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, I watched all season long. Whalen Modified's
hmm
one of my favorite. We used to watch him at Flemington all the time, and Dirt Modified's heading Charlotte. Season's not over for those guys, but hopefully we get to see you strap in again next year in 2023.
Hey Kev, if you don't mind, I want to add a question real quick, Donnie.
Yeah, go
You
ahead.
mentioned driving the modifieds. That's a car that obviously you drive a lot off your right rear. How much did that help you tonight here?
So funny you asked that question. I think that driving a modified uh, might hurt. I don't really know. I'm really confused lately because I have been trying to get my right rear tire wear and iRacing down,
hmm
like less, but just I can't keep from burning the right rear off these cars. And normally you think burn the right front off because really we try to save the right rear in a modified as
Right.
much as we can. But it's been working opposite for me. And like tonight, every pit stop, my right front was 15% less wear than my right rear, and everybody else is kind of even. So it's a good thing when you have a setup where it's real tight but it's not a snap loose tight kind of deal. You could just
hmm
kind of drive it right through the right front. And in those cases, it helps me being able to wear the right rear out. But tonight, it was killing me. I was really hurting the right rear tire, and I can't figure out why. I was trying to obviously be as disciplined as possible with it, but I don't know. I got to figure that out. I'm a little dumbfounded with that. So tonight, it didn't really help me here because I was hurting the right rear more so than I think most of the guys. Everybody asked about tire wear. My right rear was worse than theirs. So
Wow.
that's a good question. So I don't know. I'm a little confused on that one.
My question to you was left rear wear. It wasn't just the track where the setup is a little awkward, and they put a lot of wear on that left rear here. Did you notice that at all? It almost feels like this track drives off that left rear.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to it. We just look at the right sides, but I could tell you the setup here. They need to work on it because it's
Yeah,
just it,
yeah, they do.
Well, there you go.
It is a handful. We
oh
all
man,
know going into this race it was a challenge, but you
it just has
you
no
made it look
balance.
easy. If you're chasing Daniel Falkingham and you're pushing him down straight away, that being a part timer, if I could call you that, you made it look easy tonight.
I appreciate that. Thanks. Yeah, but it was definitely a challenge, and they like I said, yeah, this thing's a handful, man. I tell you what. So to come out here clean, all the fenders on it, and have a good night and have fun. Can't ask for more. Thank you guys for broadcasting. Thank you, Joey with Sim500, letting me come around whenever I can. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, glad to have you. Thanks for stopping by, Donnie, and congrats on the second place. And hopefully we'll see you in the next 2 weeks to finish out the season.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm going to try. So thanks again, guys.
Absolutely. You too, bye.
Bye.
That's Donnie Leah, second place finisher. And great finish for him tonight. We'll get him down to, I think a lot of guys are hanging out and how he moved himself. So, all right, one guy left to talk to here at least, and that's the guy that is in victory lane, hoisting the trophy there in for a 12th time or 11th time this season. Daniel Falkingham in victory lane here tonight at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. Congratulations. Way to bounce back, obviously, from the mishap there in Vegas. Obviously, at times you looked like you were the fastest car. At times you didn't look like the fastest car, but it just come down to keeping that right rear on the car, it looked like.
That's what it was. Just like you had to save tires so much tire management. You really couldn't be wide open until you were on the straightaway. It was crazy. But that's just the way the next gen just handles now when all the setups just, it's all about you can't push. If you do it, you're killed. So, yeah, it's kind of annoying to deal with because you have to like super save so much. You really can't go on full out drive like when wheel out there.
Right.
You just gotta keep tires on. That's the way the tire model is, and that's the way the next gen is. So it's unfortunate, but makes it for a lot of strategy. And yeah, it was something else, man. But glad we could come out on top. We definitely needed this. Definitely probably the biggest win of the season so far. Tried closing on that points after unfortunate mishaps at Vegas, but feels pretty good. And my next two tracks I absolutely love. They're two of my favorites. So hopefully we can go capitalize on these final three races and we can bring home the trophy that should rightfully be ours.
So you got 4 people within 4 points as we go to Martinsville. Any pressure?
Oh, it's definitely going to be there, just trying to run a good race, do all that stuff, and trying to stay out of trouble. Because I mean, Martinsville, short track. We know how it is, and it didn't turn out too good for me in the spring. So hopefully we can have a better result, and just hopefully have the points lead going to Phoenix. Because I think whoever has the title or whoever has the points lead going into Phoenix is gonna have the best. You know what? So yeah,
Best chance,
they're
right.
gonna have the best chance to try to hold on to it. So yeah, I lost my train of thought there, but
No, it's okay.
yeah, just looking forward to it. 2 short tracks, or if you want to consider Phoenix a short track, but I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I'm ready to get going. Two to go, and hopefully we can get her done.
How much fun was it getting out there and obviously with it being so loose as it was in the daytime here at Homestead, a track where you can almost run anywhere, to be able to get out there and mix it up with some of these guys and put that kind of racing on, that had to be kind of fun too.
Yeah, I love it when it's loose. Definitely gotta when it's more on the right rear, but absolutely hate the tight setups and stuff. But I mean, we really couldn't move around because if you try to rip the fence for one lap, your tires are done. Like
Right.
that's just what the track state is, and that's just how the tire model works. You really can't go anywhere except like the preferred bottom groove. That's what I was trying to do to save tires, and it worked out really well. So just sucks you really can't move around just like real life. But hopefully this tire model can be fixed sometime in the near future and dynamic track so we can actually run it properly. But who knows how long that's gonna take? But yeah, just shame we couldn't run all over the place, like rip the wall and stuff. But that's what we got to deal with right now. But it feels good. We can drive some skill based sets compared to just friggin' just plowing our nuts off.
Right. Well, great job tonight, man. Send shouts over you like to.
Yeah, so
It always happens when you get to the sponsors.
Yeah.
You ever notice that?
yeah, gotta rattle them off. We gotta name them off here. But
I have to have him send me the list from now on, and I'll read it for him. Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, you might as well. Oh, yeah, I was like, you still got me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I didn't know I might actually dropped out, but yeah. January 31st, first day Bailoff 207 for the sport. I got to thank NC811 for all they do for the series. Everyone who races each every week, all the admins, Joey, and everyone who runs the show here at Sim500. I got to thank everyone who races each every week. Thank my teammates, team name, David, Chad, Josh, and Doy, and Byron. Unfortunately, they kind of got taken out in an incident, but glad I was able to bring another one home for us. I got to thank thank my real team, North Fork Racing, Preston Gilson, Vince Mars, whole crew over there. Big race tomorrow night. It's the second race of the Contender Series, and yeah, definitely we're above the cut line after the first race. Hopefully we can maintain that for the final 6 races. But yeah, just thank all those guys putting the work each and every week. I think we're going to go do some testing after this is all said and done. So job's not done for me tonight. So and it's at Homestead tomorrow night. So I'm not done with Homestead yet. But so yeah, thanks to everyone who was behind me. Makes me better, and glad they let me come over and do this. Ready to go to battle tomorrow night. Thank you guys for the broadcast. Thanks to all the fans who watch each every week, and thanks to friends and family for watching. And shout out to Cosman for all the paints.
There you go, man. Well, great job tonight. Congratulations on the win. Looks like it's going to get down to it. So we'll see you next week at Martinsville. Good luck in the Homestead stuff.
Appreciate it, Chris.
You too, bye. That is Daniel Falkingham, the winner tonight here from the Virtual Homestead-Miami Speedway. So I'm looking down at the 5 people that are left already. Sarcasm there. It's like 10. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to see if there's anybody else that really had good runs. Kelly struggled, unfortunately.
I look at this and say,
Yeah.
We spend a lot of time focusing on the guys racing for the championship, but a couple good runs. A part-timer in the series, Doy Woods, he only ran about 16 races this year. He finished 8th tonight. Gerald Levinson hung on for a top 10, good run for him. And I just like to say, good job for those guys. Mike Montesi finished 7th tonight. Decent run for Mike. Mike is fast. If he could do the whole package, he'd be knocking off some wins. He's a threat next year, I think. And, just looking at a couple of these other guys, Nelson Rivera, man, he was there at the end, slipped a little bit, but he got himself a top 5.
No, he did. He did a great job also. And, there was plenty of great people.
Two lasting impressions point-wise.
Yeah.
You were talking about it. Daniel Falkingham, mission accomplished. Got himself within 2 behind the leader, erasing the deficit from last week, putting himself on par with everybody else. And unfortunately, flip side for Mike Kelly drops down to 13 behind. He's got to have a good Martinsville if he wants to hang his hat up there in Phoenix. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how aggressive a couple of these guys are. Kelly, Ryan, Coleman, they're going to need to have really strong runs next week. Maybe walk-offs.
We've got Mike Kelly 13 back, Tommy Ryan 16 back, Jimmy Coleman 24 back, and then Simley's 36. Where do you see right now as the spot where it's like, all right, stick a fork in them, they're done?
If you look at Macklin, Falkingham, and Comstock, they've been top 5 every week.
Mm-hmm.
If they remain, any of them, top 5, then the rest of them, when you get back to Tommy Ryan, 16 points out, too far out. Mike Kelly, he's going to need 2 stellar races and problems for the other 3 somewhere along the line in the next 2 races in order to be in the mix. But all things are possible. You never know. We just have to keep coming till the last lap is run.
There you go. And that's what it looks like it's going to come down to, is that last lap at Phoenix. So, impressive race again tonight here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. Appreciate North Carolina 811.com for sponsoring this series. Appreciate everybody for wearing it, of course, on their cars, all the different states. Of course, where I'm at, Georgia 811. Of course, where Kevin is, you can dial 811. Anywhere in the United States, you can dial 811, and make sure you do so. Call before you dig. Very important. Before you dig, always want to call 811, because you never want to be that person that makes that mistake and cuts something that's very important, either someone or someone's place or whatever. So always call before you dig. So we're out. Always remember, this isn't just a game, it's iRacing. See ya.